If you ever sat across from a real estate agent, a lawyer, or a mortgage broker and nodded along like you understood every single word they said, well, this video is for you. Real estate is one of the biggest financial decisions most people will ever make. And the industry is absolutely loaded with jargon that nobody ever actually explains to you. So today we're fixing that. I'm going to walk you through 10 terms that come across constantly in the GTA market and explain every single one in plain English. No fluff, no filler. So let's get into it. Term 1, pre-approval. Before you look at a single listing, you need to know what you can actually afford. And that's where pre-approvals come in. A mortgage pre-approval is when a lender looks at your income, your debts, your credit score, and your down payment, and tells you the maximum amount that they're willing to lend to you. Now here's what a lot of first-time buyers get wrong. A pre-approval is not a guarantee. It's a conditional commitment. The bank is saying, based on what we know right now, we'll lend you this much. But they can still say no later if something changes, like you switch jobs or you rack new debt before closing. That said, you absolutely need one before you start seriously shopping. Sellers in the GTA won't take you seriously without it. And more importantly, you don't want to fall in love with $900,000 home if your budget is only $750,000. Term 2, deposit versus down payment. These two get mixed up constantly, and they are not the same thing. Your down payment is the total amount of your own money going onto the purchase price, the chunk that doesn't come from the bank. In Canada, the minimum is 5% on homes under $500,000, scaling up from there. Your deposit is different. It's a portion of your down payment that you need to hand over upfront when your offer is accepted, essentially to show the sellers that you're very serious. In the GTA, deposits are typically around 5% of the purchase price, and you usually need to provide it within 24 hours of your offer being accepted. Now think of it this way. The deposit is part of your own down payment, paid early as a show of good faith. If the deal goes through, it gets applied to your purchase. If it falls apart and it's your fault, you could lose it. Term 3, conditional versus firm offers. This might be the most important distinction in the whole buying process. A conditional offer means that you're making an offer to buy a property, but the deal is only firm if certain conditions are met first. Most commonly, financing and home inspections. You're saying, I want to buy this house, but give you a few days to make sure that my mortgage comes through and there's nothing seriously wrong with the property. If the conditions are met, the deal goes firm. If they're not, you can walk away and get your deposit back. A firm offer is the opposite. No conditions, no escape hatches. If your offer is accepted and you back out, you lose your deposit and potentially face legal action. Firm offers became extremely common during the GTA's pandemic frenzy, when buyers waived everything just to win their offers. In the buyer's market that we have right now, you have far more room to include conditions, and you should absolutely use that to your advantage. Term 4, closing costs. This one catches first-time buyers completely off guard, and it shouldn't, because closing costs are significant. These are all extra fees and expenses that you pay on top of the purchase price when you actually take ownership of the property. In the GTA, budget for roughly 1.5% to 4% of the purchase price on top of your down payment. What's included? Land transfer tax, and in Toronto you pay it twice, which we'll get into a minute. Legal fees, title insurance, home inspection, adjustments for prepaid property taxes. If you're buying a new build, there can be development charges and HST on top of all of that. On $1 million home, we're talking $30,000 to $40,000 in closing costs on top of your down payment. Plan for it early because a lot of buyers find out too late. Term 5, phantom offers. This one is controversial and unfortunately not unheard of in the GTA. A phantom offer is a fabricated offer that doesn't actually exist. Crazy, I know. Used by unethical agents to pressure a buyer into bidding higher. The agent tells you, we have multiple offers coming in tonight, when there isn't even any coming in, hoping that you'll panic and increase your bid. It's illegal. It's a violation of RICO and the Real Estate Council of Ontario rules, but it's also very hard to prove. Your best protection is working with a reputable agent who you trust and knowing that in Ontario, sellers are not legally required to disclose how many offers they've actually received. If something feels off in a multiple offer situation, trust your gut. Term 6, bully offers. Now this one's good. Also called a preemptive offer. A bully offer is when a buyer submits an offer before the seller is scheduled on the offer date. Often a very short irrevocable period and an aggressive price, trying to pressure the seller into accepting it before other buyers can actually compete. Sellers will sometimes accept a bully offer if the price is compelling enough, and sometimes they are. Other times, they'll reject it and stick to their actual offer night. As a buyer, making a bully offer can work in your favor if you're confident in the value and don't want to get into a bidding war. As a seller, getting a bully offer means you have to make a quick decision. Is this bird in the hand worth it? Or do you hold out and see what other offers bring on offer night? There's no universal right answer. And that tension is exactly what makes bully offers one of the most talked about tactics in the GTA market. Term 7, status certificate. This one is specific to condos, and it is critical. A status certificate is a package of documents that tells you the financial and legal health of the condo corporation that you're actually buying into. It includes a condo budget, a reserve fund, and outstanding legal actions, and the rules and bylaws of the condo corporation. When you buy a condo in Ontario, you have 10 days after receiving the status certificate to review it and back out of the deal if something concerns you. Always have a real estate lawyer to review it, not just a quick skim yourself. A condo with an underfunded reserve fund or active lawsuits against the corporation is a major red flag. An underfunded reserve fund today almost as always means a special assessment, a surprise bill to every owner, somewhere down the road, so pay attention. Term 8, land transfer tax. Every time a property changes hands in Ontario, the buyer pays a land transfer tax to the province based on the purchase price. Here's the part that shocks people. If you're buying in the city of Toronto, you pay it twice, once provincially and once municipally. On $1 million home in Toronto, the combined land transfer tax is roughly around $32,000. That's before anything else. It's one of the single biggest closing costs and one of the most overlooked. The good news for first-time home buyers is that there's a rebate on both, up to $4,000 provincially and up to $44.75 municipally in Toronto. That helps, but it still leaves a very significant bill. And just to be clear, if you're buying anywhere else in the GTA, outside of Toronto proper, you only pay the provincial tax once. That double hit is unique to the city. Term 9, assignment clause. An assignment clause in a purchase agreement gives the buyer the right to transfer their contract to another buyer before closing, without actually taking ownership of the property themselves. This is massive in the pre-construction condo world right now. If you bought a pre-con unit in 2021 and the building is closing now, and the unit is worth less than you paid, an assignment sale lets you sell your contract to someone else rather than closing on a property that's dropped in value. We're seeing this play out all over the GTA right now. Buyers who signed at peak prices are now looking for a way out before they actually close on something that's worth significantly less. Assignment sales come with their own tax implications and legal nuisances. So always get professional advice before doing one. But understanding they exist opens up a whole category of deals that most buyers don't even know to look for. Term 10, the stress test. The mortgage stress test is a federal rule that requires all Canadian mortgage applicants, even those putting down 20% or more, to prove that they can actually afford their mortgage at a rate higher than what they actually are being offered. Currently, you need to qualify at either 5.2% or your contract rate plus 2%, whichever is higher. What that means in practice is that it significantly reduces the maximum mortgage that you actually qualify for. If you earn $100,000 a year and you're expecting to qualify for $700,000 mortgage, the stress test might bring that number down to $580,000 or less, a massive gap. The stress test exists to make sure that buyers can still handle their payments if rates do rise. Love it or hate it, and plenty of people in the GTA hate it, it's not going anywhere. The smartest thing that you can do is run your numbers with a mortgage broker before you actually start shopping, so you know exactly what your budget is, not just what you think it is. And that's 10 terms that come up constantly in the GTA real estate market, now fully in your back pocket. Knowledge is one thing that levels the playing field in real estate transactions. The more you understand the language, the better decisions that you're actually going to make. If there are terms I missed that you want to cover, drop them in the comments. And if this helped you, share it with someone who is thinking about buying or selling in the GTA. I'll see you in the next one.